Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Parshas Yisro. In Perek Yirches, Pasuk Alf, the Parsha begins by Yishma Yisro Kohen Midjan Chosein Moshe. It's Kol Asher Aselo Kinle Moshe. That Yisro, Jethro, the priest of Midjan, the father-in-law of Moshe Rabbeinu, heard all that Hashem did for the Bnei Israel, and he came. Then says in Perek Pasuk Beis, Vayikach Yisro Chosein Moshe Es Sipor Eshes Moshe Achar Shilucheha. He took Sipora, the wife of Moshe, after she was sent back to Midjan. Then in Gimel it says V'eshnei baneha shema achad Gershom, etc. And then the sons. Now if we go in Pasuk Hey, just a couple pasukim later, it says Vayavo Yisro Chosein Mishpat Uvanav V'ishto El Moshe El Hamidbar Asher Uchon Hashem Har Halokim. And Yisro, the father-in-law of Moshe, came, and his sons and his wife, to Moshe in the desert that he camped there by Har Elokim. And then in Perek Vav it says, Vayomer el Moshe ani chosencha Yisro ba'elecha. I, your father-in-law Moshe, your Yisro, come to you, v'ishtacha, and your wife, u'shnei banai ima, and your two sons there. So I noticed firstly that while we would assume in Perek Pasuk 5, Vayavo Yisro Moshe, Chosein Moshe, Uvanav Ishto, that the sons were Moshe and Moshe's wife. But, when it says, and Yisro, the father-in-law of Moshe, came, the pronoun would be referring to him. So I checked, and eventually I did find one commentary that said that Vanav was actually the sons, not of Moshe, but of Yisro, and he was bringing them to come along so that they would see and hear the great story and be Megayer. So he came to the desert, and then Moshe was camped there by Har Elohim, by the mountain of God. And the next pasuk, so it says, I am your father-in-law Yisro, coming to you. Now, this doesn't make sense, and the Ramban asks, it says, you wouldn't say, if you're here, did Moshe Rabbeinu forget who his father-in-law? Why is he saying his name? Why is he saying Ani? If he sent a messenger, the messenger wouldn't say Ani chosencha Moshe, so it couldn't be a messenger. And if it was Yisro himself, then why would he have to say Ani, Ani and who I am? You see who I am. So he answers. Well, there's a Midrash that says that Yisro came, and it's pretty impressive that he found it. That he found in a big broad desert, that he found the camp of the Jews. But when he reached it, he found that he couldn't enter because he was an Arel. He didn't have a milah yet. He didn't, and he wasn't Jewish even, and he wasn't able to penetrate the Ananei HaKavod. So eventually, what he did was, he shot an arrow. He wrote a note, and that's what the Ramban says, that he wrote a note. That was the message. That's why it says Ani chosencha. Who's writing the note? This is who I am, and I've come to you. So he wrote the note, and either he sent it by arrow, and miraculously this arrow not only penetrated the defenses, of course it was a miracle, but it also landed by Moshe Rabbeinu, who got the message that his father-in-law was there. Alternatively, it was a shliach. It's someone who came out from the Bnei Israel, I guess, maybe a liaison or something. Someone had permission to go in and pass on the message. Or alternatively, it was Hashem speaking, that's saying that Yisro, your father-in-law, came here. Why does it say Ani? Because Ani is also a language of Hashem, referring to Hashem, and therefore it's, he's telling him it's Yisro, who until now, he didn't officially have the name Yisro yet. The first time we meet Moshe, we meet him, it's Kohen Midjan, and then he's Reuel. Now, because he's going to be blessed with an extra parsha in his name, therefore Hashem knew in advance what his name would be, and therefore he's saying, Hashem is the one saying Yisro, which also would be theoretically strange to Moshe Rabbeinu, that he doesn't know the name yet. He knows him as Reuel, or maybe Kani. We have Putiel. So these are things that why would be Hashem. Now I looked back just to double check how the first language of the greeting of Yisro was, and as I said, it was Kohen, Midjan, and then Reuel. But actually, I found in Perek Gimel, it says that Moshe was Roet Son Yisro Chosno, that he was. Here's a reference to Yisro as already much earlier. Vayavo el Har Elokim, and Moshe came to Har Elokim Choreva, and so I think this helps connect some of the pieces there. The Yisro, Yisro was near Chorev, that Midian was actually closer, and this is what Rav Shamshin Raphael Hirsch says, that it was closer to Har Elokim, and Chorev was closer to Midian than to Mitzrayim, and perhaps Moshe Rabbeinu even told Yisro long in advance, or through Tzipporah, a message of meet me at Har Elokim, which is how would explain one reason how that he was able to find Yisro found the Bnei Yisrael in the desert so easily, because it wasn't so far away. So I think it's an interesting analysis of what's going on in the Psukim. There's so much more. He came to the desert because he was willing to. It was a sign of how great Yisro was, that he was the priest of Midian, yet he gave it all up. He was living in a palace, presumably, to live in the desert with the Bnei Yisrael. Also, it keeps on saying every time in the 3 Psukim I quoted in this week's parsha says Chosei and Moshe, because he was so proud. Yisro was so proud that his son-in-law was the king of the Jews, that he would boast about it. So there's a lot to learn when you take a closer look at the Psukim, and there's so much more, but we've already gone longer than we usually do. So thank you so much for your patience and listening. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbos.